Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is a very, very special edition. This is the Shirtless Plantain Show Arsenal and Manchester United edition. We decided to get the whole entire crew together. Unfortunately, Dean right now is out. It's Mother's Day, and he's trying to chase Taryn Muffy. So, that's unfortunate for him. But happy Mother's Day to you and yours. So, yeah. How's everyone doing today?
Good. Can't complain.
I can't complain.
See, I thought we were going to lose 5-0, but we only lost 1-0. So technically, we won by 4, and that's the way I'm approaching this day.
I like that.
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
That is Canadian math.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Canadian math later.
Mitch, can we get a W, please? Can we get a W, please? Please.
Nice little W.
I'm only talking to Mitch
Love
today.
that.
I'm only talking to Mitch. Only winners. That's it.
Coach and I are going to do like our own podcast. You guys can talk all you guys want. We're just going to like talk back and forth. That's what we usually do. So like we're just going to do that.
Shut the fuck up. Let's talk about the build up to the game. I'm sick and tired of y'all shit already. We did do the United preview. Coach and I, we told old man stories because both of us are damn near 50 at this point. So we talked about
we're not.
Shit that we saw over the years. Only in Nigeria we are. Nah, but we talked about the build up to the game, and Coach, you want to take it away?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There was a huge expectation in a lot of Arsenal circles, and I'm sure Mitch can attest to it because he's probably a bit more tapped in on this shit. But there was this huge expectation that Arsenal are going to go there and score a bunch of goals, and United are going to have nothing for us. And I was like, I don't know where you guys have been, but you haven't been paying attention, like ever, because Arsenal have never scored more than one goal at United in a win. Basically, never in the Premier League at least. We've never done that. If we scored more than one goal, we've always lost the game or we've drawn it. Basically, so that was the expectation on our side. On the United side, I saw some whispers of Arsenal want to get their own back for the 8-2 and shit or whatever. So yeah, I don't know why they thought that because OT is full of devil magic. So yeah, that's where we was in terms of the build up, I suppose, to the game. There was talk of obviously Ten Hag as well, talking about Arsenal for the umpteenth time. And I was just like, well, today's your day to essentially prove that, September was a fluke. Clearly not. Arteta was trying to get the players to focus on just playing the game. We'll talk about that a bit later, but I don't think he managed to do that very well. But yeah, those are probably the biggest talking points I think leading into the game. The huge expectation on Arsenal to have a huge result today, and personally, I couldn't see it happening, honestly. So yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Coach? Were there any nerves from the Arsenal fan base? Because when the game started, after the first 5 minutes, it looked like on the pitch at least there was a bit of unsettled vibes from Arsenal in terms of their build-up play, especially in the first half of build-up leading into the second half build-up.
There was nerves. Don't get me wrong. It's always going to Old Trafford is just never ever nice. So that's the first thing. There's always going to be nerves, for like 100%. And yeah, I think looking at the recent history, overall, Arsenal have had a very good time against United, I like to think, but just not at Old Trafford. But that's the equaliser. That's the stadium itself is the equaliser. So it doesn't matter what form either team is in. There's always going to be nerves. To the fans that are at least, I wouldn't say clever, but the ones that are paying attention, basically, those are the ones that that know that look, Old Trafford is never ever going to be easy, ever. But yeah,
let's talk about the lineups. Let's talk about the lineups. I mean, United's lineups, and I'll speak for as a United fan, it's not really shocking. I mean, the only thing that shocked me more than anything was that Mod was started. But Eric did that same thing that he did with Pelistri when he started against Bayern Munich. So it wasn't really shocking. I'm also shocked that Amrabat played, that played defensive midfielder role. But Tommy and Dahmer, y'all talk to me. You tell me what you feel about the starting lineups, because
when I saw Ahmad starting, it was like you said. My first thought was like he did the same thing with Pelistri. He did the same thing with Hannibal.
just waiting for them like to inevitably fail and then see, this is why I don't play them. That was, and definitely Amrabat starting. I was absolutely shocked. I expected the same team he played against Crystal Palace again, but he switched it up and Amrabat did decent. And I noticed he also switched Dalot and Wan-Bissaka. So I guess it's because Dalot had like not like a great game, but like he at least held his own against Saka for a little bit last game. So I think that was just his thinking. And it was needed because Wan-Bissaka on that left has been horrendous for like the past since Luke Shaw went down. Wan-Bissaka on that side has been absolutely atrocious. So I welcome that switch. And the front three, there's nothing more we could do. Like I know before we're complaining about Garnacho starting, like now it's 35 straight games, I believe, or something of that note. So I think on the bench we had 5 teenagers. Like I was older than 6 of the people on the bench, and I don't think I'm that old, so that's crazy. Like so, it was given the circumstances, it wasn't anything too out the blue. The Ahmad being put in the starting lineup was, I'd say, the most shocking thing. Besides that, with the injuries and what Baldy has been known to do, that starting lineup was in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, Dahmer, you talk to me. What do you think about the lineups?
Where do I start? Okay. Look, it's going to sound like a broken record. And I know Scams, you and I talked about this a few weeks ago, where we said, about mitigating problems, and doing what you can with what you have. And what we talk about, what Ollie Glasner does so well at Crystal Palace right now, is making the best of limited resources. And right now, that Man United availability list is the definition of limited resources. If you look at you can make an entire starting 11 out of our injured list right now, which is not ideal, but also that stopped being an excuse about 4 months ago. He's had more than enough time to deal with injuries and figure out stuff that works, and he just keeps throwing the same thing at the wall over and over again, up until this game, which it felt like he threw Ahmad in there as a way to say, okay, let's put him out against the second best or best team in the league. Sorry, guys, second best. And let's see how badly he does, and then I can say, see, this is why I can't play him yet. He doesn't have the experience, right? And to Ahmad's credit, Ahmad played very, very well, and I think we'll talk about this a little bit more in the tactics and the shape, but I think Amrabat playing in the midfield was nice to see because that is his best position, and I think I know that United fans want him gone back to Fiorentina yesterday. The bag's packed at the door, just pick it up and start walking. I think he can play as a utility player. I'm not ready to give up on him and send him back yet. If there is the money in the budget to make it permanent, I would like to see him as a 4th option in the midfield or a 5th option in the midfield, coming on at 70 minutes, 80 minutes as we need. Because I do think that in the limited capacities, when you can play him in that defensive midfield role, he does provide value that we don't have anywhere else on the pitch right now.
Yeah, quickly before we go to Mitch, talk about Arsenal's lineups. Wayne Rooney said something about how Man United players are, need to play through the injuries. I'm like, Wayne, that's exactly why he retired at 27. So please.
I saw that and I'm like, Wayne Rooney is my favorite United player and perhaps one of my favorite football players ever. Don't do that, bro. Don't. Like, this is why people are online saying Cole Palmer and Foden were better than you, because you stopped playing when they were getting out of the nursery school. Please, like, let them rest.
I'm going to tell another old man story that only Musa and I can relate to, Coach and I can relate to. You remember Euro 2004 when Rooney basically broke his metatarsal, and he did it in 2006? Like, he constantly does that where he will break his foot.
Against Chelsea, yeah.
Yeah, and then Rooney was just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to play. And it's like, this is why you didn't shine on the international stage, because you're going there at 20%, but you're such a bulldog that you just want to run around all day. So, whatever. Yeah. Mitch, talk to me about the Arsenal lineups. It hasn't changed in a while, but talk to me.
Yeah, we talked about this on the pod after the Bournemouth game. It's the same lineup, and it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. We keep winning, we're gonna keep throwing out the same 11. Trossard's still over Martinelli. Obviously, he scored the goal, so that was very, very good. And I think the one thing that I would change about this lineup is I don't want number 5 starting. And I don't think today he was very good. I struggle to see what he does better than Jorginho on the field, and I would much rather have Jorginho playing than him. But I can't complain about a result, and it got it done today. So
First thing that came to my mind when you said number 5 was hey, 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 and I'm not gonna finish the rest out. But let's talk about halftime. What happened at halftime? Obviously, Arsenal up 1-0 because Casemiro is at this point, he's a fallen soldier of football. Thank you for the memories, but it's time to go to learn Saudi. So, Coach, talk to me. How do you feel about halftime?
Well, I think we skipped ahead. I think we skipped ahead. I know you guys don't want to talk about this, but unfortunately, you're going to have to. You're going to have to sit through it all. You're going to have to sit through every minute. Right, no, joking. But for real, look, I think there's very much an ongoing battle inside Ten Hag's head between him and Arteta just wants to win football matches and just do his thing and keep his hair perfect. And Ten Hag today, for some reason, decided to actually do some coaching clearly in the week and decide that I'm not going to leave this midfield completely wide open for people to run. I'm not going to let Kobe Mainu have to cover 60 yards both ways every time. Basically, we lose the ball. I'm not gonna isolate our wingers. Basically, I'm gonna get them support. Like he did a lot of right things for United today, and it was just strange to me because I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've seen United look this good tactically the entire season. Like genuinely, I don't think I've seen him look this good tactically, and that let me know that he really, really he might not dislike Arsenal, but I really think he has a problem with Arteta clearly because for some reason he today of all days he decided to be a football coach. I mean, where was the shit against Bournemouth? Where was it against Burnley? Where was it against Palace? Where was it against Sheffield United? Whoever the fuck, basically. Like there was none of that. So that was my biggest takeaway for United. The fact that it was the front three had to pick itself, obviously, because of injuries and whatnot. But if you look at the profiles of them, each one of them can, with the ball, carry the ball long distances, and they can do it without the ball as well. That's a huge bonus and a huge plus for United. So, he picked a good balance front three. Anthony didn't start, so he gets it. So, yeah, Arsenal, on the other hand, out of possession, 4-4-2, we get it. In possession, sometimes he went 4-2-2-2 and, tried to get width by sometimes pushing one of those two players really, really wide. But I think we were stifled. Apart from the first 5 minutes, I think Ten Hag really set up in a way that really stifled us. Dalot did a really good job when he tucked in as well to make sure there was no space for us to basically attack through the middle. Yeah.
That is a depressing compliment. That's depressing, man. Like fuck. The way Coach just talked about it, if you hadn't watched the game and you heard Coach talk about it, you would be very disappointed when you actually go back and watch the replay of the game because the bar is in hell. The bar is chilling with Hades. It is really bad out here. We are struggling. We're down bad. Yeah, I agree. The tactics, he did well. For the first time, I think he saw Dale Brailsford show up 5 hours early to Old Trafford and was like, maybe they might actually fire me, let me go do my job for a bit. And there was something happened. It just, again, why this happened now and not, I don't know, in January. I don't know. That's why we're going to have a new manager in about 3 weeks. Because he waited till May the 12th to actually adjust to the injuries in the squad and capabilities of the players that he has at his disposal. So, no other further comments.
No, Tommy, go ahead.
I wouldn't even say like this man said like what you said, like how he adjusted to the injuries. I wouldn't say like they adjusted to injuries. These are players. Amrabat starting is the player he wanted. Casemiro, player he wanted. It's not. I won't give him that injuries because this is a player. And then speaking of Casemiro, I'm sorry. I think Willie should have started because that goal, the only goal scored, it was all on Casemiro. I don't want to put blame on Dalot for Havertz being that wide open on that side because I guess he had tucked in, then we lost the ball. But if you look at like we were able to clear the ball out. Everyone else pushed forward instantly. What's Casemiro doing? Just walking. And I don't know what it
He's making
is.
a shawarma, bro.
Huh?
First kebab cart.
He was making a shawarma.
Bro, he was, I don't know, he was dreaming of I don't he was just dreaming of something. But he was just walking out. And then even when the cross got in, Aaron Bissaka could have definitely done better tracking Trossard. But after Casemiro, like I said this like I think 2 weeks ago, Casemiro doesn't check his shoulders anymore. He doesn't scan. If he had scanned, he could have seen him come in. He's just not aware. And I so I can't keep giving Baldy that injury excuse, because these are players he wanted. He wanted Casemiro. He said in the interview it would have been Casemiro and Frankie as the pivots. I don't like that. So I don't just like, while again the tactics, like I will give you guys credit. Like I will agree with you guys. He did get the tactics correct. There's still a bit of I can't. It's just still a bit of stupidity that I don't like.
I will
Two
say,
things quickly.
sorry, just to before Mitch gets in, sorry. It's really disheartening to see that there's coaches up and down the league, basically, that regardless of injuries, the players play a certain way, always, always, always. And Ten Hag keeps on hiding behind the injuries. Like, we know the level is going to drop, but the actual style shouldn't, unless there's completely different profiles coming in. Basically, is the point I'm
Yeah.
making. So, but yeah, man, Mitch, take it away.
Yeah, I don't think we're making a big enough deal about the one goal that was scored in this game. Obviously Casemiro fucked up by like playing Havertz that far onside, but it was so. I mean, one of the biggest compliments we're able to give Havertz at the beginning of the season when he wasn't fully hitting this kind of form is that he is so effective with space. He's really intelligent in knowing where he needs to be and being able to find that space. He is a smart enough player to see, oh my God, Casemiro is way back. He's playing me onside. I'm going to be in this position. And then was able to be found and was able to find Trossard for a great little goal. I know that they aren't like a strike partnership because Trossard's a winger, but it is like such a fun little like big man, little man combo that's like old like mid 2000s Premier League of like a 4-4-2 big guy, little guy. And it's a great across the face of goal by Havertz. Great finish by Trossard. I do think Onana could have done better. I think if he comes out for the cross instead of staying in his net waiting for the shot, I think that he has a better shot of being able to stop it. But great goal from us, and something we needed to do because we needed to be able to take our chances because we didn't end up getting all that many. So can't complain.
I got a couple things on to add on the Eric Ten Hag injury thing. I'm tired of hearing that shit. Honestly, I'm sick of that shit.
He's been waiting for this, boy.
I'm sick of that shit. Like, Real Madrid just won the La Liga, right? Militao tore his knee, Alaba tore his knee, Courtois tore his knee. They're hella injuries. They're like 30-something different injuries at Real Madrid. And they still managed to do it because Carlo Ancelotti is a grown man who knows how to actually coach teams and talk to his players, right? So that's the first thing. Second of all, there's a reason why Casemiro didn't get called up to the Brazil Copa America team, okay? Let me just say that plain and simple. There's a reason why he didn't get called up. He's past his expiration date, and it's unfortunate for him. And again, I said this before United signed Casemiro and before they signed Varane. I was like, there's certain clubs you don't sign players from. You don't sign players that are aging from Bayern Munich, from Chelsea, and Real Madrid. You just don't do it. And United did that anyway. But again, listen, it is what it is. Casemiro, you're going to learn Riyadh soon, and you're going to learn how to read the Quran very, very soon. Don't worry. You'll go to Hajj soon and repent for your sins. Let's talk about the second half. You guys take it away from the second half. Oh, go ahead, Coach.
I was just gonna say, sorry. After we scored, obviously, Tosin, Dharma, either one of you, how impressive were you with United that the floodgates didn't open? Because I personally, from what I observed at least, I think you guys did a really good job of, I suppose, stemming the tide, even though there wasn't a wave after wave of attack.
Dharma, go ahead.
You know what? I was pretty. I was impressed. I don't really know why this time was different. Again, this season has been. I've reached the limits of my understanding of football with this man and this team and this season. I've given up trying to comprehend it and put it in a way that actually makes fucking sense. It was good to see. I think Garnacho has this thing where he does really stupid shit once he gets within 3 touches of a shot. But up until then, he's fantastic. And I think that really helped, and his ability to stay as an outlet and the fact that he had Ben White's on skates did help. That was the only bright spot. But I think having that consistent outlet where in previous times we may not have had that direct ability helps, and to get the ball away from the net and not giving it away stupidly in midfield. But yeah, it's good to see. But if he had just decided to turn his head around a little bit, like Tommy said, it would be 0-0 still. And we wouldn't have to worry about floodgates opening, but that is this season.
I'll be honest with you, I was quite disappointed that we didn't turn the screw, because away from home, Arsenal usually are quite good at that. Basically, we get a goal up and then it's like, okay, now it's party time. And regardless of who we face, basically, it was just a bit weird that we didn't keep the ball more and move it forward. But I think credit to United as well. While the Arsenal players looked a bit scared, there wasn't really any space for us to actually like maneuver the ball quick enough. I think I think the pressing was pretty good from United. Mitch, do you think there was more Arsenal could have done there, or do you think it was just good stuff with United?
Yeah, I mean, I want to echo your sentiment that like I thought United were very organized and able to kind of keep us off balance instead of allowing us to open the floodgates, because I was fully thinking once we got the one that we were just going to pile it on. And United, I think, pressed really, really effectively. It's not something I've seen much from Manchester United, but like we had a lot of problems trying to pass out of the back. We were turning the ball over in midfield, which is just it was a really frustrating watch as an Arsenal fan, because it was just like I've seen this one before of like, oh, we're winning and then we go and do something stupid, like we give the ball away in a bad position and then all of a sudden it's 1-1. Because I don't know if Manchester United necessarily did all that much in attack to like warrant them scoring necessarily. But they were very, very impressive out of possession to where it really frustrated our game, and we weren't able to play how we wanted and really get it going, open the floodgates. And credit to Manchester United in that regard, because I think that I was going in with like a lot of confidence this game of like, I think we can smash the shit out of them. Because United's not in good form, we're in very good form, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about the Old Trafford, like the devil magic. I just want to like us to play our game and be able to do it. And I think Manchester United played a game that that like kind of forced us to only win 1-0. I'm just glad that we won 1-0 and we didn't end up dropping points.
Yeah.
You know what's the most saddest part about the way y'all talking about Man United right now? Makes it seem like as if we're a fucking like Stoke
Can't
team.
even say shit, man.
So
It pisses
terrible.
me off.
Bro, it sounds like as if we're fighting for relegation battle right now. Like, they kept it at 1-0.
I can't even say shit
Jesus
either,
Christ,
man.
We have
I curse
we've
the great.
fallen.
I just gotta accept it.
Yeah. Yo, it is truly impressive to hear Arsenal fans talk about Man United like as if we just got promoted from the championship and we're not trying to like keep the floodgates open at Old Trafford. Like, this isn't the second biggest stadium in England, like this isn't like one of the cathedrals of football. Like, you guys kept it tight at the back and you guys kept us stifled. Like, the fuck is going on?
Avram Glazer's
Like,
grave.
Oh my gosh, my days. Let's talk about the second half, man, because I would say this much. The thing that stood out to me the most about the second half is that the fact the referee blew the whistle. So, Tommy, I want you to talk about the second half.
That second half, first of all, at halftime, I was not optimistic, but I wasn't as down bad as I thought it would be, because that goal went in. I was like, that was expected. And so I was like, okay, let's not do anything dumb, because United are a team, like, once we concede, it's always 2-3 goals that are following. It's never just one and done. There's always more goals coming. But so once we concede, so halftime came, and I was hopeful for the second half. But I was even looking at the bench. I'm like, there's no one we can bring on that can be like, ooh, make something happen. What, Erickson is gonna come on and Anthony? So, but that second half was dreadful. It was. I'm really trying to remember anything exciting that happened. Was Declan Rice had a shot that Onana made a good save. I'm pretty, that was the second half. And then Amrabat got put in an N1 mixtape by Odegaard. I'm so sorry. I saw that, and like I ran to my phone to tweet, and I saw like 3 other tweets of people saying the same thing, like, "Oh my God, Amrabat," and it was so bad. This man did a hezzy half spin, and Amrabat just, I was like, okay. But those were the 2 most exciting moments, and then also Ahmad going off injured because like Dharma said, Ahmad was like our bright spot the first half, and I think honestly the rest of the game. So I was happy with how he played, and he after the game he posted online that like he went in with a knee to knee, and that's why he was down, but like otherwise he's fine. So I'm hopeful about that.
Yeah, we
But
saw it. We
honestly,
saw it on the
second.
replay. Actually, we saw it on the replay. Like when Tommy nicked the ball, it was straight knee to knee. Like it looked. I've had those before. Like you won't be able to walk properly.
It's gonna it's not one of those ones you can shake off. Like if you're I've be playing every time we're playing pickups and that happens. I'm like, yeah, someone come on, it's all come in. But we played well in general. I mean, second half we were able, like you said, we stifled them, and I like to give a shout out to Kobe and Amrabat because I think they played really well. And Kobe was like allowed more freedom, so he was buzzing all over the pitch. He was connecting with both Garnacho and Ahmad and getting space at the edge of the box and try to make something happen. So I think he played well, and it's good to see him actually like be able to not like the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire Spider-Man where he's holding the train trying to keep from going off the rail. That's what I imagine Kobe doing every time he plays, so it's nice for him to see him in some freedom. But yeah, the second half was just uneventful and just us seeing out the game, or Arsenal seeing out the game, really. That's it.
I will say one thing that I did notice that a lot of people didn't notice because I'm a weirdo like that. Onana switched his boots. He doesn't wear Adidas anymore. He's wearing Nike.
He's a man of culture.
Yeah, I saw him wearing the white and black Tiempos in gold. And the other thing I noticed in the second half is that we spent 95 million pounds, or euros, excuse me, on a goddamn right winger who ended up playing left back.
And did it better than he plays right wing.
Go on, Dama, get on this, please. Like, what was your...
I feel like we threw Tommy out there to talk about the second half, like Eric Ten Hag threw Ahmad out against Arsenal. We're like, nobody wants to talk about that shit. Tommy, you go take care of it. We sent him out like you sent out Facundo against Bayern.
Okay, do you know what? Yeah, if that's what we're gonna do, yeah, I could just gloat for the rest of this. Now, joking for real. But okay, cool. I'll be honest with you. I thought there was going to be a huge change from both teams, not even from personnel, just in the way they were going to approach the second half. I felt as if there was 2 things that were I thought could have happened and might have happened if Arteta wasn't such a nerd, basically. But the first thing was I thought we would probably play a bit about 10 yards higher. That didn't happen. But the second thing I thought was the game would get a bit more scrappy, and that would suit United way more. If you look at the 2 games against Liverpool created hella chances, but also they conceded quite a few high quality chances as well. And I think those sort of games, you guys are better at this than me because obviously you're United fans, but I feel like United have got their best results this season when the games have been so unpredictable that United get by on the unpredictability of it. And Arteta was like, there's no chance we're having that sort of game today at all. I counted 1 time in that second half where twice, McTominay and Anthony both ran through directly at our defence, but that was it. And compared to the Liverpool game, that was a constant thing over and over again. And obviously, Liverpool having their attack as well. But yeah, I think United really wanted to make it a huge end-to-end game, and we were just like, no, basically, it's not happening.
It was crazy. People watched Anthony and McTominay make repeated odd man breaks and odd man runs at the Arsenal defense, and still look at the injured list and say, "Thank God Bruno and Rashford didn't play today." You know what? How great is it that we finally get to see those 2 on the bench? And
listen.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done about that whole conversation. I just wanted to say that That conversation is still happening.
I'm not done. Listen, I'm not done. The way United fans online argued me down that for us to want to win trophies, we have to get rid of Rashford and Bruno. Mind you, I'm not the biggest Bruno fan, and Rashford is having a bad season, absolutely. But they make something happen. The only trophy we won last year, guess who scored in every single round, including the finals? Sir MBE Marcus Rashford. When look at the last couple games, Bruno has been the only competent player in our attack. Wow, do I feel like we need to upgrade on Bruno? Yes. But people are saying, yes, sell him and then bring in Jamal Musiala, bring in Florian Wirtz. Do you guys have 150 mil for that? And further, do you think Bayern is letting go of let's use this. So all those fans, I want them to truly see no Bruno, no Rashford, no party. And I love Garnacho. But like Dharma said, once he gets in the box, he just reverts back to the 16-year-old, and I
He
just
actively
don't
loses
get
brain
it.
cells the closer he gets to that.
Like, and it's actually insane. And I think he had like there was a like a 4 minute not like 4 minute period where he got off like 3 shots, and I was like, I don't want to see anymore. I don't. It's okay. But I think that game solidified. Ahmad's our second best winger, and Rashford is our best winger. So that should be the wing pairing going forward. And please let Garnacho rest.
Coach and Mitch, talk to me about the second half of you guys. How did you guys feel watching that nonsensical second half?
I was watching this game at the Arsenal bar in Denver, and I was just fucking stressed the entire time. Like, it was just a lot of like, just oh my god, like watching us lose possession and then like have transition moments for Manchester United. I was just stressed out. I just wanted us to score a second goal so I could fucking relax, and I didn't get to relax until the referee blew his whistle. And once he did, that was very nice. But like, to be fair, there wasn't all that much that happened. Like, it's not like we had a couple decent opportunities. I felt like Onana made some good saves. Who, by the way, I thought he had a very good game outside of maybe the goal where he could have maybe done better. But I thought Onana was good. And obviously our defense was able to lock it down. Like, Saliba was given man of the match, and I think that's 100% deserved because that man's just a fucking wall. Like, you just can't get by him. He's so calm and composed all the time, whether he's in possession or out of possession. It's always a nice little like Linus from Peanuts safety blanket for Arsenal fans of like, this is stressful, but at least I have William Saliba. And William Saliba led us to the finish line.
Can I just say something?
mean-
I was watching like the crowd, like the pan across the crowd, and see the reactions of Arsenal fans, like 85th minute, 87th minute, and they're like this. I'm like, can you guys fucking relax? We're not scoring. Like, chill. We're not doing shit. Stop
Bro,
it.
we brought
I'm
on
like
Anthony and the
Anthony, and we
18-year-old.
brought
I
on some guy
promise
with the
you.
jersey number 84. We're not doing anything. You can fucking
Like, you
relax,
guys are like,
okay?
you're fine. No
They
one,
were like in the
no one's
stands,
gonna
like
steal your Honda.
they were
Okay,
stressed. I
you're
was like,
fine.
just we're not scoring. You're fine. Stop acting like you know it.
No, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't really worried per se about United doing anything crazy. I was more worried about with the rain starting, something going crazy on our end, basically. But if we look at the stats, right, United obviously had more of the ball than us, which again is something that I don't think anybody expected today, right? More shots than us as well, but quite clearly Arsenal created the better XG. So there's that. Probably, yeah. Well, from what I'm looking at, it's 1.71 to 0.64.
Nerd.
But genuinely speaking, there was only one player today, genuinely on the pitch, that looked like he could play for the best Arsenal teams and United teams of yesteryear, and that was Saliba. To me, everybody else was pretty junk. You know, Gabriel was okay. Ben White, not great. Tomiyasu, whatever, but literally nobody else. I'm not going to be too harsh on David Raya. It is what it is. You know, he did what he done well, but whatever in it, do you know what I mean? But genuinely, I looked at Saliba and thought, this boy is just a different class. And when Garnacho was bearing down on our goal and Saliba was obviously backpedaling towards his goal, I wasn't worried. I just wasn't worried. He always handles those situations so well, and I think the combination of him and Gabriel dealing with Højlund, it needed to be done because Højlund is a good striker. He's a good player, but I noticed that Højlund was kind of veering more to Gabriel's side for good reason. So yeah, I'm looking at take-ons completed, for example, for what's his name, for Saka. Saka wasn't great today.
Fucking nerd.
Again, he completed 3 out of 5, but didn't look good. It was, and he had a 0.27 expected assists today. The standards are so high for Saka now that he had a game today which I thought he was very, very poor, but there were still some decisive moments there for us.
Coach, did you just say game state?
I'm not. No, I didn't say game state. I said decisive moments.
I was going to say Kelson queued up again.
Yeah. I mean, I've used game state
and
before.
I
use
said
game
nerd in
state
my
all the time,
car when
but
I
I
heard
think
you say that.
fair enough.
Not gonna call him a nerd. I'm calling him a fucking dork.
Dork with a W, baby. But for real, there isn't a real standout player for Arsenal again, apart from Saliba. There was nobody else I thought that was good. But yeah, I think the managers. I suppose Mitch.
I'm glad you brought up the managers. I got something to say about Mikel Arteta.
One second. But Mitch, are you disappointed or are you quite pleased with what Arteta has produced today? Because I have thoughts, but yeah.
It is the second to last game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going into the last day of the season with the potential to win the league. I don't give a fuck with how we look during the game. I just want 3 points, and we got 3 points. That's all I give a shit about. And so I think that Arteta was flexible in his subs and stuff like that. Like, I think Martinelli was a good sub for Trossard because I think we needed someone like him to be an outlet because we had so many issues getting out. And then in stoppage time, bringing on Jorginho and Kivior to just full on hunker it down. Let's see through these last few minutes. I don't have any problems with how Arteta coached today. I think maybe he was thrown off guard by Ten Hag deciding to be an actual manager today. Because like that came out of nowhere. Like, he was expecting to just be able to walk through midfield, and like he probably considered starting himself in this game. And because he's like, I could play midfield against Manchester United. Like, that's not hard. And Ten Hag decided to be a manager. So I have no problems with how Arteta did it. We got 3 points. It wasn't the prettiest 3 points, but we went away to Old Trafford and we got 3 points. I cannot complain about that by any means.
Well, I can, but again, it is what it is. Sorry, Tossin, what was your point about Arteta? Please be nice. He has a family.
I've nothing bad to say about Lego hair. Nothing bad to say about Lego hair. The thing about Mikel Arteta, I know a lot of people forget this, but every time he wants to shut down the game and every time he wants to play he wants to get the points, you're reminded every so much that he definitely played for Alex McLeish and he played for David Moyes. Like, you see that in every time the Arsenal wants to play, like in a certain way. You can tell that this guy played for some rough house ass managers, and it shows every time. Like, it makes sense that he played in the Scottish Premier League, and it makes sense that he played for Everton because he was a bulldog as a player, and it shows in his teams from time to time. Like, yeah, you definitely grew up in the slums, and it shows. Like, yeah, you spent time with Pep, whatever. No, you are definitely Moyes' son and Alex McLeish's son for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Pep shit was purely just getting notes on the enemy. Like, he wasn't trying to learn anything there other than getting notes on them. He's not with that shit. And what's funny is last season, we came relatively close until like the last 7-8 games. That was with 2 of former Pep players basically in the team, and the 2 former players this season are nowhere to be found pretty much for the most part. This is very much an Arteta and Arsenal team, which is very, I suppose, pleasing to me for the narrative of what people wanna bring. But I don't know, did anybody get to see Arteta or Ten Hag's comments? Dharma, Tommy, did you get to read or watch
I
them?
read briefly through some snippets of his comments for Ten Hag at least after the game, and it was He did praise Ahmad, which is good. There's no update on his injury yet. He was asked whether he would consider replacing Casemiro at center back against Newcastle, and he said that Kwambala was not fit to start. And he said that he would not consider McTominay because A, he don't think it would work well, and B, he thinks that McTominay is better in an advanced position. I would argue McTominay is better on the bus at all times, but that's me. But I mean, it was, again, this game, for being a game between United and Arsenal, was very low key, especially that second half. And besides that goal, I don't want to call it a snooze fest, but it was approaching that, which I guess is a credit to what Ten Hag did today. But yeah, the comments were ho hum, pretty much standard, nothing too crazy after.
I won't lie to you. I was expecting him to talk shit about September again. That was what I was fully expecting. And then on top of that, I felt as if he was probably going to go in to, how much, they competed today, which he kind of did, but it was more of he's praising these players rather than talking shit about Arsenal, basically, which was nice to see. I'm probably going to pass this off to Tommy, actually, but Ahmad, right? I've been a huge fan of him, and in one of my group chats that's got a bunch of United fans in it, I've been telling them, and you guys might not agree, but I've been telling these guys for, I want to say, the best part of maybe 3 years. I want to say that I genuinely think in my heart of hearts, he's arguably the most talented player at the club, basically. That boy is cold beyond belief, and he's got the thing between his ears, basically, that a lot of the United senior players don't. He's got a brain, like a genuine brain. His decision making is so good, and his execution of shit. Some of the switches of play today were just fantastic. Do you think there's a future where him and Ten Hag get along, Tommy, or do you think it's just, Ten Hag's gonna go and another manager's gonna see Ahmad's value?
There's no future for Ten Hag. All for it. There's no future. I'm shutting that shit down now. If they think about it, I'ma step in. I'm not allowing it. But Ahmad is a player that, like, I really enjoy. I remember when we bought him from Atalanta. Again, I'll never, I watch a lot of football, but I'll never lie about football I've seen. I did not know much about him, but I was optimistic. I remember I spoke to Tosin about it. Tosin gave me good reviews. But then I started watching him playing our U18s and U21s. And him and Hannibal especially were beautiful with the way they kept the ball. Ahmad he's always been, like you said, smart with the ball. He knows how to pass. But my favorite thing about him is his dribbling. I'm not people where he got, where initially he went knee to knee with that one where Partey slid in, right? Even before that, his dribbling, his close control. A lot of our players would have lost the ball in that situation. A lot of players would not even been able to navigate that situation. But he's able to keep the ball, keep it close. His dribbling, it's amazing. And I truly feel like he should be our right winger for the future. Him and Garnacho should be rotating that right wing spot for the future, for the foreseeable future. They both offer different things, and they can impact games differently. But I think Ahmad should be the one going forward because like you said, his brain and his passing ability. But my favorite thing is his dribbling. Sometimes that's what you need. You need someone who can just hold on to the ball and progress it forward. The way Bruno progresses the ball forward is just by bombing it forward and hoping someone gets there. Rashford can dribble with the ball, but not as well as Ahmad. And Garnacho, speedster, straight line runner. We all saw it this game, but he offers a different outlet, a different way to keep the ball and get it forward. And I feel like United fans talk about him, how he can maybe play in that 10 role, and I would be intrigued to see what it's like out there. But because today there were people have always, another knock people have always had against Ahmad was his body, like how strong he is, how fit, how he'd be able to ride challenges. I think he did well today. So I would like to see him in the middle role a bit, but overall, I'm happy, and I hope he gets more playing time. That's it. I hope Baldy sees his mistake.
Tommy, back to what you're saying about him riding challenges. The guy played in the championship, okay? I don't think anything is more physical than the championship. The championship makes you a man, okay? So either you're gonna realize it or not. Look at Omari Hutchinson. Omari Hutchinson is killing it in the championship, and that's why Ipswich got promoted. So yeah, I mean, the one thing that I want to talk about quickly before we wrap up is Eric Ten Hag's outfit. As the resident menswear connoisseur on the Shirtless Plantain show, I was very disgusted in what I saw. I don't even know what to call his outfit, but I will say this: this shit is weak. And those black shoes, you're trying to show your ankles. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, you look like you went to Express and Zara and shopped with your eyes closed, and I don't like it. So that's all I got to say about Eric Ten Hag.
Every time Tosin talks about Ten Hag, I just hear the Meet the Grams theme song play.
Oh god, it gets real dark. Who do you think? I suppose United fans in there. Who do you think was your best player today? But I have to remind you guys that your best players today didn't help you win because we won and you lost. To hit me.
Yeah. Honestly, the best player was the stadium roof that held the water out while it was raining at the end, and then only started leaking after the game ended. That was our best player.
No, for real, let's
I would say. I mean, I think for me, until he went off injured, I would say Ahmed was our best player simply because we haven't seen him play enough, and I was a bit of a revelation for me. I knew he was very good, and I knew that he was this good, but it was gratifying to see him show it in a game like this. So for me, I would say Ahmed.
Yeah. You, Tommy?
I would also go Ahmad, but I would also like to give a special shout out to Amrabat because I feel like he held his own defensively, and he also helped free up Mino, and that's another player I think can also get a shout. But I would go with to go. I think Ahmad's the best player, but Dharma said Ahmad, so I'll go with God forbid, not Casemiro. I'll go with Amrabat or Mino.
Okay, cool. Mitch, any last thoughts on Arsenal overall? And I suppose for the title, what are your expectations for the last day? I think this is the first time you're experiencing something like this, right? So yeah.
I've never seen us take it to the last day before.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Like, regardless of what happens, this season was fucking awesome. And I enjoyed almost every single bit of it. If City end up dropping points and we win the title, I will cry real man tears.
Wow.
If that doesn't happen, this was still a great season, and we're going to be a great team for a long time. That's not going to change anytime soon. And all I can do now is hope that either Tottenham or West Ham help us out. Because if you're going into like these last two games and like this is not going to happen, they're not going to drop points, like that's fine. But like I'm gonna choose to be an optimist about this and be like, they're gonna drop points. It's gonna happen. They're gonna draw one of these games. They're gonna lose one of these games. Whatever. And we're gonna win the title. I've said it from day one, and I'm not gonna change my opinion now.
Do you know what?
Love Mitch. Mitch, I love you so much. You're so optimistic. I can't wait till your heart just starts crying on Sunday.
Do you know what though? Yeah. I'm very glad that you answered that way because Havertz in his post-match said that on Tuesday he's going to be the biggest Tottenham fan in the world, and
Me too.
It made me heave a little bit. So, Mitch, well done. Just well done on not saying something so disgraceful. Yeah.
I got one last thought before you get out of here. Back to Ahmad and how smart he is. He did not want to give that ball to Anwar Bissaka at all. That's all I got to say.
Good players know. The thing is, good players know. Like, that's the bottom line. Good players know.
Also, shout out to the United women's team. They balled out today. I watched them in the FA Cup final, and Ella Toon, take a bow. What a goal.
Good for them, but we're talking about the Man United men's team that lost today against Arsenal.
I don't want to hear. What? You don't support women? You don't support women? You don't support women? Get him out of here. We got him.
No.
Get him out of here.
Mother's Day, you're being a misogynist?
Oh, my.
We're not doing that.
Get him out of here. Hey, honestly, I'm gonna call the president of the EPL. We gotta strike some points from Arsenal. I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that.
Exactly what you're doing here. We're here. Let's focus.
I don't.
On the Premier League. Let's focus on the Premier League.
Men supporting women. Ashley Wilson got her own shoe. You know, big up women.
Mitch, Tussin, take us out of there, please.
Don't forget to support the women, and happy Mother's Day once again. And also shout out to Believe Network for also believing in us. No pun intended. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out. Unfortunately, United lost, Arsenal won, but the season's almost over, mashallah, and we're grateful for that. Everyone, we're out.
Peace.
Take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Take your shirt off.